Well, this afternoon, the Mental Health Authority signed an MOU with the Bastel Child and Adult Psychiatrists Foundation, a UK-based NGO which will facilitate the training. Officials of that NGO joins me in the studio for a quick chat about their work in Ghana, essentially about improving health, mental health, access to mental health, essentially. Two of them are here. Like I said, Aziza Attard is lead pharmacist for West London NHS Trust. That's Hounslow Hammersmith. You're welcome. Not just Hammersmith, there's Fulham as well, and then there's Ealing. Nash Momori is an expert consultant with the Bastel Foundation. You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, I hope I got your names right, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so mental health is a big deal. I mean, it's a conversation we've had over and over again, but we never seem to get to perhaps the expected point, you know, where we could say at least people are having access to mental health. Exactly what is the nature of your engagement with the Mental Health Association, and how is it going to help in the delivery of mental health? Any of you can take that from me. Ladies first? Okay.
A Memorandum of Understanding is essentially a commitment between several parties. My colleague Nash is from At Real Insight. He's an expert. I'm considered, I suppose, an expert in psychopharmacology. There are experts from the UK who are committed to this. The signing was between the Mental Health Act Authority, South London and Maudsley.
Okay.
It was also between the Bastel Foundation and the government itself, I think, yes. Yeah. So something like a Memorandum of Understanding at least shows that there is a commitment of experts towards this project.
Okay. What I want to understand is how this project also is going to, how is it going to work? What is going to be done? The people of Ghana need to understand what is going to be done, how will it be beneficial to them, and how can they be a part of it?
I suppose that's a very broad question.
It is indeed.
We need to break it down because obviously when you talk about mental health, it's quite huge, and people just, at the moment, especially us individuals from the black ethnic minority, you know, communities, the moment we hear of mental health, we associate it with, excuse me, madness, which is not really the case. And I think when it comes to it, just as we've got physical health, so do we have mental health. Now, however, it's been frowned upon in so many other communities, and what we are intending to do is people. In fact, there's a survey in the UK that states that 1 in 4 people might have experienced some form of mental ill health. We haven't got that survey here in Ghana, so I wonder how many people are. Sorry?
We do.
Oh, I mean, I don't know it.
In 2011, it showed that 2.8 million people in Ghana suffered from mild, moderate, or severe mental illness. But as Nash is pointing out, that's a little bit outdated now.
Very well.
But that was roughly about 10% of the
that idea.
population.
So then we come back to what you're doing.
What we're intending to do with Bastel is actually to create an awareness around this. And this awareness is actually aimed at ensuring that the communities that we reside in are aware of it, understand the symptoms of it, and realizes that the stigma that comes with it is not necessarily what it's supposed to be.
So if I understand you properly, you're looking at creating awareness that is aimed at reducing the stigma or stigmatization.
And also ensuring that mental ill health becomes something acceptable.
Acceptable.
Because when people are physically unwell, they are deemed as unwell.
Okay.
And that is meant to be a natural cause.
So I get it when you say that people seem to associate mental health with let's say, with madness. Let's say, for example, schizophrenia, etc. But then you could put depression in there. You could put all kinds of things which come in, I mean, normal stresses of the day. But I'd like to understand what the focus is for this project. Where is the focus?
Our focus is actually about collaboration, ensuring that, because it takes all parties to be part of this. Service providers need to understand, they've got challenges. I mean, Joy in here, for instance, you've got a big staff in...
and our job is very
and
stressful.
Your job is quite stressful.
Yes.
And it would be great to know that you've got some form of support for people in their well-being and mental ill health in here, so people feel comfortable to share it, unlike feeling as if I went to share this, what would I be perceived as? Am I going to lose my job? Would people point at me? Would people see me as not fully there?
Okay.
So what we're doing is trying to create that platform of awareness.
All right.
And we'll do that by delivering some form of training to frontline staff. We're aiming to ensure that the community's family and friends, we're ensuring that even the nurses that provide the support, the clinicians, they need support. Who supports them?
Okay.
So that we need to ensure that we get this in place.
So in the next few days, tell us, what are you going to be doing in the next few days?
So largely we are on a very busy, tight schedule. Nash is a very kind-hearted person, so I just wanted to bring up the economic value of investing in one's mental health. In about 10 years, mental health will be the leading cause of all global morbidity and mortality. But also every year today, around the world, mental health costs between 2.5 and 8.5 trillion US dollars in terms of loss of productivity. And in the UK, every year, 100 billion pounds is lost through illness, loss of productivity, and because those people can't come back and integrate into society as we would hope so. So the next few days, we will be doing a few more, I hope, chats with important people like yourselves and spreading the word. But we are going to individual hospitals. I will be teaching in Kumasi to clinicians, specifically about substance misuse, which I understand is a growing concern.
It is. I mean, for some time it was a topic, a big topic of discussion because people were abusing tramadol.
Yes.
And it is still something. I mean, we've stopped talking about it as we used to. I think this was a few months back.
Yes.
But it is still a problem on the ground. So these are some of the areas.
And what have happened to those poor users? That is somebody's mother. That is somebody's sister. That's someone's brother. That's someone's son who might be addicted to tramadol. That was a conversation that we were privileged enough to have a few months ago. What Nash and Bestel are trying to do is let's continue that conversation. How can we continue to support people with substance misuse and ensure that the communities are engaged?
And the issue with that is, as you just mentioned, usually when these youths abuse these drugs, the impact on family and friends is even worse. And how do they get that support? Well, in the next few days, we're looking to deliver some training in recovery in mental health, delivering training in, have you heard about this Triangle of Care initiative?
Triangle of what?
Care initiative, yes.
Okay, tell us about it.
Ensuring that recovery is central. Individuals are part of it, and we need to talk with them because you can't really provide support to someone if you don't know what the underlying issue is. So we need to ensure that the family and friends are part of this, the service providers are part of it, and the service recipients are part of it.
Very well. Well, before we wrap up, I'd like for you to, what you're going to do is to create the awareness, but this is also a great platform upon which you can create that awareness. If you were to meet a group of people and you were, putting this, reaching out to them, what will be the message that you'd want to share as far as mental health, substance abuse, whatever it is concerned? I'm going to start with you, Nash, and then I'll go on to Aziza.
Are you saying in few words? What would I say?
In few words?
Yes.
Not necessarily. I mean, so if you were speaking, let's say you have a group of young people in front of you, and you are reaching out to them with a message on mental health, what would that be?
I suppose it takes me back to a project that I led on where I was talking to youths, and based on my own personal experience, I was able to share with them that if I knew what I know now, which obviously would have changed a lot in my life. And
do share.
No, obviously I would, but then let's carry on with this conversation for now.
We are carrying on. So what I'm trying to do, we have an idea now what you want to do.
Yes.
You want to create awareness. What I'm trying to do right now is for you to start here, essentially.
Yes.
So share.
So what I want to say to these youths would be that our health is very paramount. It's very important that we take good care of it, and everyone is prone to mental ill health. You don't necessarily have to have a diagnosis to be mentally unwell.
Right.
However, it's all up to you, the way you look after yourself. You ensure the stress level, the drug use, and the impact of drug use, because we've got drug-induced psychosis, and sometimes you probably wouldn't even know. It takes a longer, it differs from person to person.
Okay.
And I think I would ensure that these youths know that their well-being is important, and if they don't look after their well-being, the end result would be mental ill health.
All right, let me come to you, Aziza Tad.
If I was to reach out to a group of youths, I'm a mum, I would say there is nothing to be ashamed of. If you feel that you are suffering symptoms of mental illness, it is not a sign of weakness. It is not a sign that you are being punished. It is no different to having any other physical health condition. And there is no need to be afraid and be open. But they will only open up if they are absolutely sure that their mother, their auntie, their grandma, their dad, their father isn't going to judge them, call them possessed, or blame them. I think it needs to be an open, honest conversation, and we need to say, just talk to us.
Just talk to us.
Actually,
just
you know what? Having said that, I think that's the main reason why another reason why Bestel should carry on with this work. Because if we're able to provide a platform for people to go to and share and actually talk about their challenges, that would
create an open space for that discussion
for them to do. But
without
as we
judgments.
speak now, if I was to meet youths, probably after talking to them, I might not be able to signpost them to say, go here and seek information. And I think that's what we need to start doing.
Great.
And that information can come from all areas.
Great.
Within the communities, in settings, in drop-ins and all. So we need to look into that.
Are there any ways that people can, get in touch? Maybe social media, is it with the organization? Perhaps they want to have an idea what to do. If I feel this way, if I feel that way, who can I talk to? Any social media handles to share?
I think there are a lot of social media handles, but the problem is, which I think this is the right place to say it, whatever we do, money is what we need in here, not for us, but money is what the community needs, community support. Without that money, we wouldn't be able to provide all even this social media stuff. You need someone that would actually load stuff on it. You need someone that will be monitoring and uploading and stuff, and we don't have that. We probably place more importance in other things, maybe. And if we can.
So you don't have the social media.
At the moment, this is we don't. And it's an opportunity to be here today. And if we can get platforms like this and actually get to advocate, I think it would make a big difference.
Okay, I mean, but the good thing is that you have this Memorandum of Understanding, which, like Aziza said, it's a commitment. So something to begin, something to begin with. And so we'll say. I wish you well, and I really hope that this works and that it touches as many young people, as many people who need the support as possible.
I think the other thing that I would want the young kids to know is I'll probably use myself to let them know that having experience in a mental health issue doesn't mean the end of the world, and that if you're able to confront it and accept it and deal with it, there's always help.
There's always
and you can turn out to be someone that you probably never thought of. So there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Light at the end of the tunnel certainly is a good way to end that conversation. Bestel Foundation, I've been speaking to reps from there, Nash Momori and then Aziza Attad. They're in Ghana. There is a memorandum of understanding that has been signed with the mental health, the mental health regulator in this country. So certainly they're looking to reach out, reduce stigmatization. I mean, not to look down on people who have mental health issues, but to also know that you may have it, you may have a mental health issue, but you need to look after yourself well, like they said. Thank you very much for coming, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.